Well, that was an absolute horror show of a game. Absolute garbage. Absolute fucking disaster. I mean, yeah, the Gators won. Yes, they're 6-1. They beat Vanderbilt. They beat an 0-6 team. 38-17 was the final score in a mostly empty stadium. Let's. I mean, this game was a horror show. I mean, we were up 17-10 at halftime, barely. I mean, it took a good quarter and a half, maybe I would argue almost a whole half, before our team got their thumbs out of their asses. Read some of these statistics. I mean, Ken Seals, the quarterback for Vanderbilt, an 0-6 Vanderbilt, a team that can't get out of its own way. Our defense, that defense couldn't stop a squad of 11 cheerleaders, female cheerleaders. Absolutely atrocious. Ken Seals, 22 out of 34, 319 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a late interception. I mean, late. Like the end of the game late. Quarterback rating of 157.1. We made a freshman quarterback on an 0-6 team look like a superstar! Really? And you guys wanted me to stop on the hashtag fire Grantham? I'm going to go back on my friggin' word if this keeps up. I swear to God. Running game. Mitchell Pryor, 13 carries, 44 yards, 3.4 yard average. Florida gave up 21 first downs. Vandy was 7 out of 15 on third down, 1 of 1 on fourth down. Gave up 87 rushing yards to Vandy, 319 yards passing, 406 yards total. To Vandy! 0-6 Vandy. We let them run all over us for 406 yards total offense. We had one sack. One sack! One! Got one pick at the end of the game. We made him punt 6 times. I guess that's pretty good. We lost a fumble. They didn't have any fumbles. Time of possession, 34 minutes for the Gators, almost 26 minutes for the Doors. Seriously. We just made an 0-6 team look good. This team couldn't defend against a team of cheerleaders if the cheerleaders were blind, deaf, and had both hands tied behind their backs. Absolute embarrassing. This was on national friggin' TV. They played on ABC instead of ESPN because the Clemson game got canceled at the last minute because one of the Clemson players, from what I read, got tied up with Dorona, which is probably a good thing for Free Shoes because they were about to get road graded by a top 4 team. But we got out there on national television. We were favored by over 30 points. We put 38 on the board. Kyle Trask's streak of 4 or more touchdowns in a game is broken. But he still has Heisman numbers. And according to a graphic ABC ESPN put up on the screen, he's the leader in the Heisman race. We'll see what Jones, Matt Jones, or whatever his name is, on Bama does today. Probably run up a ton of numbers on a weak Kentucky team. And Fields didn't look very good. I mean, he threw 3 picks and 2 TDs. He didn't look so good. And Sunshine didn't play at all today. That's like 3 weeks in a row he hasn't played a game. So Trask is, despite what for him this year would be a subpar performance, he's still number 1 on the Heisman list. That can change, obviously. But we just made Vandy look good. When you're playing a garbage team like Vanderbilt, you stomp on them early, you stick your boot on their throat, and you press down. We didn't do that. We didn't score enough points. In my opinion, we let them hang around too long. We let them run up and down the field on us. What was that again? 319 passing yards from a freshman. A freshman. A kid who looks like he hasn't picked up a razor blade in his life yet. Yeah, a kid. And he threw all over that defense like it wasn't even there. And then we let this running back run all over us for a little bit, just enough to keep the linebackers honest. We had 1 sack. 1 sack. 1. And it came at an opportune moment. But I remember there was a 3rd and 19 at one point just before that. I'm sorry. The 3rd and 19 was created because of that sack. And what do they do on 3rd and 19? They go for 17 yards. They set up a 4th and 2. And they made it! This is embarrassing. Now, we have 2, potentially 3 games left. We play Kentucky at home. I'm going to watch the Alabama game after I finish this just to see what we're up against for the next game. And then we play at Tennessee. Neither of those teams I expect to roll over, especially Kentucky, because they beat us recently, and they almost beat us last year. They've got the bit between their teeth. They think they can beat us. And with a defense this porous, this sorry, this hopeless, they probably could. And then we got Tennessee. Tennessee's never going to roll over for Florida, even if they do suck this year. They're not going to roll over. And then we might have to play LSU. LSU just pulled out a win against Archie on the road in the rain. So they're feeling good about themselves. Meanwhile, we got a 6-1 Florida team. Couldn't as my friend Uncle Lou loves to say, couldn't cover a twin bed if you were a king-size blanket. This is embarrassing. This is horrible. And then, assuming we can lock up the East, we got to go play Alabama with no defense. I mean, it's not going to be 2016, 2015 scenario where we have no offense, we can't score any points, and Alabama's going to run up and down the field on us. They're going to run up and down the field on us, but they're going to have to score points because we can score points. We just can't prevent the other team from scoring points. And Alabama's going to run over us like a freight train. I mean, their quarterback is pretty damn good. He's number 2 on the Heisman list, according to the graphic I saw on TV a few hours ago. You know, he could put numbers on the board. He could put points on the board. He proved that in multiple games, including against Georgia, who has a better defense than we do. If he can put up those kind of numbers against Georgia with one of the best defenses in the conference, what's he going to do against Florida with one of the worst? I swear to God, I just, I'm just glad right now that there's no 3:30 game that I really want to watch because I need a couple hours to decompress before the evening games come on and before I have to go into the Uncle Lou Patreon stream and have everybody laughing at at me and my team because we couldn't stop a high school team at this point. Hashtag fire Grantham. Hashtag fire Grantham ad infinitum into infinity and beyond.